Hey, Metal Mad TV fam. It is HP, and I am going to be joined today by a really special guest, a trio called Railgun. It's so good to have you all here. We got Greg, Ryan, Brad of Railgun. You all hail from Richmond, Virginia. And you have a really unique style. I love when artists actually put stuff in their about section on all of their socials because I get to not just hear how you describe yourself, but also hear your voice through even that little text. So I thought some of the stuff y'all have there was cool. But even that part of you is unique. You each have your own influences. So I guess I kind of wanted to have you each introduce yourself and then tell us what influences you bring to the band as a collective.
As usual, I guess I'll start off. So I'm Greg. I play guitar and sing in Railgun. My biggest influences are definitely J-rock bands and the weird it's not even weird, just the tone that anime has in general. So you always start an anime and you don't skip the intro because it has that super dope opening. I think that's where I like to try to write where it's yeah, this is that song you don't skip on the album kind of thing.
I think that sounds about right for you, man.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that at least how I write and play and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do you want to go first, Brad, or you want me to do it?
I can go this time. So I pretty much just write everything I do by rhythms. So whatever Greg would play or whatever Ryan would play, I would pretty much match that. A lot of my drumming influence just comes from many different drummers. I grew up playing drums at the church, and then I kind of delved into other different genres and also different other drummer influences outside of the gospel realm and jazz realm. So, so my drumming more or less comes more a rhythm, and then later it became a little bit more technical as we kind of sort of delved into a lot of what people would explain as melodic stuff or hits and things of that nature.
Okay. And what about you, Ryan?
Well, I'm the bass player. I also do some backing vocals. As far as influences go, I mainly started off with a lot of thrash metal and death metal. I don't name a few, I guess. Cannibal Corpse. As far as thrash metal, I guess I'd have to say closer to Slayer and Megadeth. A little. Also ended up mainly. I guess the biggest influence for me would probably be Rage Against the Machine, namely their bass player Tim Comerford. He's definitely the reason that I play the type of bass that I do, especially Fender jazz bass. And more recently, it's gone towards a few other bands such as Anti-Flag with the way that Chris Barker, and then Matt Freeman from Rancid. So I think that's kind of what I try to do at least a little bit of anyway.
Yeah. So y'all together have this wide range of influences. And I guess, so what would be some of those, genres or styles that you would see come up most in your music? I know gangster rap, metal, classical, kind of weaved in together. Any I'm missing? How else would you define your sound?
And we talked about this. This is always that question we get asked, and we're we don't know.
We're never gonna have an answer to that.
It bounces around like crazy. I think where it all flows into it is so when I write the main riffs and everything, and I'm thinking about all right, I want the song to flow this way or in a certain way, and we work together on it. All those influences come up on, I think, between tonality and dynamics, into which that's where the classical comes in. I need to have these, we're not quite there yet, but more big flowing, grandiose sounds, or very quiet, subtle parts to it, versus there's some like really nice, more broken down parts, I think, where we get the hip hop genre from, where like we could easily have someone rapping over that short section of it because it's got this awesome dank hip hop beat to it. Yeah, I think it's because like we all were playing different genres and everything. It's not that that was really helping it, but it's also because we all listen to these other genres. Like I'm an avid jazz head. I freaking love it. You know, Ryan, I believe you were big into like reggae and ska and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I like to think that's what keeps us special is that we do actually stop and listen to what else is happening outside of the rock genre. I think as far as our sound goes, it's just like we're punk just because it's like, yeah, we're not technically following traditional rules of it, but generally it's just rock music.
So did you all grow up in Richmond and like meet there? What's the like story of the band coming together?
Yeah, not quite. So I grew up in Caroline County, which if anyone's ever heard of King's Dominion, it's like in that area, that amusement park area. But it's only about like 20, 30 minutes away from Richmond. Me and Ryan both worked in the same department in King's Dominion. Yeah.
That story.
Good old mistaken identity.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you have a brother working across the street. Like, no, I don't. I'm an only child.
We both ended up hearing this for what, like a solid month before we met each other.
Yeah, no, for a while. So I finally ran into him. Like, yeah, we look nothing alike. I'm tired of people thinking we look the same.
And I'm looking at it, I'm trying to figure it. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
I don't see it. No, I don't see it.
Thank you.
And as far as Brad, I ended up kind of like oddly stalking him in a Sam Ash. He was playing drums. And I just like stared at him real awkwardly for like felt like a good 20 minutes. So we finally started talking.
Yeah. And funny enough, I did work at King's Dominion, but I don't know if it was around the same time frame as Greg or Ryan worked at.
Yeah.
And it was all just because it was a mutual friend from high school that was like, hey, I work at King's Dominion. You should come work with me too. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll do that for my summer.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So it's kind of just like happenstance, somewhat.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So originally the band was named, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Ametris?
Ametris, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Hey, you came up with that one, I think.
I think, yeah, you're right. I did. I forgot that we even had that name for even a little bit. That was for like, what, one show, I think, or something?
Yeah, we literally, because it was with one of our old friends, Shaquille Wright, another fantastic drummer, and then he ended up moving, but like we played one show, we were trying to be like a metalcore band or whatever.
That with two basses for some reason.
It worked. It worked. We had like 5 songs. It was good.
That's dope. So why the name change then? Why did you switch to, and what's the story behind, I guess, the name?
As for why, I think just because it wasn't, the band was made like because we were friends and everything. Shaq left, and I was like, man, it feels kind of weird to replace him and try to do the same thing or whatever. So I was like,
yeah,
it's just a new band and whatnot. As far as Railgun, I at the time was binging an anime called A Certain Scientific Railgun, and we could not figure out a name, and I was obsessed with this anime like crazy.
He was.
Yeah.
How many hours a week would you say that you put into watching this anime?
Oh man, at the time I was working like an overnight shift. So like I was finishing seasons within the one shift. and whatnot. So like,
But 30-minute episodes?
yeah, no, because I was
Yeah.
working 8 or 10 hour shifts. So like at least 6 of those hours was nothing but me watching this anime like crazy.
I want that job.
Yeah, no, it sucked. It sucked. That was the only good thing. I could watch so many shows and movies like each night I worked. But yeah, no, I was super obsessed. And I was like, guys, the name has got to be like a certain scientific or something. And they're like, no, it's dumb. So I was like, all right, how about Railgun then? Yeah, how about Railgun?
So then, Ryan, Brad, what are your favorite animes if you watch them?
We all do.
Yeah, no, we all do. That was that's another reason why we all became friends.
Yeah, that was definitely. The core of everything we do is because of anime. And
It really is.
Yeah. You know, I noticed.
Like a pride thing or what?
I mean, at this point now, it's mainstream, so it's like we can openly say it and not get fucking judged.
I've got Cowboy Bebop tatted on me, so like,
Oh snap!
yeah, I'm getting.
He actually does.
So
for me, it's definitely going. For me, favorite anime right now, it's Going Log On. It's always going to end up being that one. It's a great anime. Unfortunately,
I'm
short.
said that. I'm going back over that right now, actually.
Isn't that the one where they're like underground or something, or like, and there's a cannon? I can't even remember. I didn't watch that many.
My drill is the one that'll pierce the heavens.
Yeah.
That one line everybody else remember. The line is "Believe in me who believes in you."
Yeah, believe in me that believes in you.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mine has always been so weird, but I feel like no one really talks about it. It's IGPX. It is a fast race. It is a fast racing Grand Prix. With
I almost forgot about that.
No, yeah, you let me borrow it again.
The race was basically just them like fucking boxing and shit. And
no, that was
a race.
That was a wild anime. That was wild.
Yeah. And no one talks about it. It's like one of the few shows that like Cartoon Network and Adult Swim like partnered up with the studio Sunrise.
Oh wow.
It's like a fever dream at this point. Like we know that it was there, but nobody like really talks about it or anything.
I remember he let me borrow it, and I was rewatching it. I'm like, wow, this still holds up. It's still real good.
It is still good.
Yeah, we watch it now.
That doesn't really get talked much.
The music in that was really good too, because it had like this interesting like techno hip hop like track in it. Like it was almost like Flying Lotus levels of like lo-fi awesomeness. And that was like real back in the day.
So then what other aspect, is it just like the music sequences at the beginning of animes that inspire some of these elements to come into your music, or are there other parts of it? Like I can see how like some of the themes would be similar or the same, like a character's journey through a challenge or something. They're fighting against like another warring faction. Yeah, but are there any other elements of anime that come into your work?
I think it's not that deep, at least when I've looked at it. It's just this like, I don't know how to explain it. Japanese rock bands just have this totally different tone. And I can't really put my finger on it though, but excuse me. Jeez. I'm getting over strep, so this is fun.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, they have this totally different tone that's like, I don't know, it's so unique. There's so much more life in it. You know, like I think the Western scene for rock music kind of had that for a minute, but then it started to dissipate more into pop, like how we've seen a lot of rock stations going. It starts getting into more of like this pop formula, like it's destined to be famous kind of thing, rather than, you know, we're still writing for the soul of it or for whatever cheesy reason it could be. And that's not to say that there are some like Japanese rock and pop songs that are like real cheesy as hell, but I don't know. You got bands like Sambo Master and The Pillows and Asian Kung Fu Generation, Maximum the Hormone, that like they just come out the gate swinging. Like it's this amazing, wholesome sound that again, I really can't find the words to explain it, but I think that's kind of what we want to not as much as portray, but we want to take the higher influence from that overall feeling that it gives. You know, it's that unskippable song on an album kind of thing. I don't know if that answers your question, honestly.
No, I mean I think it does answer it, like, and the answer is just like the musicality of it, right?
Yeah.
Like you just described. So and I think a lot of audiences, like when something is in a different language, especially if it's not in English, you kind of like miss out on, I don't know, like the discovery of it and taking it in.
And that's the wild thing too. Like, I don't think you need to 100% know what's being said.
Sure.
But it makes it even cooler because again, we have Google Translate. You can always go and look up. Like, I'm curious of what the song means. Like the Pillows have a song called "Last Dinosaur." This is awesome piece. And I got curious one day. I'm like, I really want to know what he's saying. And it's basically about this loner who like doesn't know how to accept help and friendship from people and everything. And it's like, oh wow, that's actually deep as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like some other songs that that a lot of Japanese artists is, you know, kind of sort of like gives that good feeling motivation pieces as well. So is that I don't know if that's something that we kind of sort of like translate that in terms of writing. But it definitely does have like that moment, a feeling of motivation and willpower. That's kind of like always the big underlying message with some of those stars. Well, you see it watching openings.
I was gonna say it's only because I'm writing the lyrics with it. It's funny because like the music portrays that, and then the lyrics are complete opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of the Battle of the Spirit, and I cannot say, how do I say the name of this album?
Saishin no Tatakai.
Saishin no Tatakai.
Yeah.
One take.
Yeah. That was actually a painting one of my friends did. I actually have the painting on my wall.
The cover art?
Yeah. Like I bought that off of her because I was like, this is too good.
Holy crap. Wait, let me look at that again. No, that was really beautiful. How did that come about? You just saw that and was like, let me.
She's a fantastic painter. She has
it's beautiful.
like, I guess she has a lot of social anxiety and stuff like that. But she became a really big part of like me and my girlfriend's life in the sense of like, you know, she talked to us a lot about what was going on. We hang out with her every time we head up north to get the chance to. I'm still trying to convince her into making like a page to advertise her art and whatnot. But like I have two of her paintings right now. One she gifted us, which is a beautiful African theme. And the other is the artwork for Saishi no Tazakai. And I actually couldn't think of a name for the album. And I was like, well, what is this painting actually called? She's like, it's called The Battle of the Spirit. So I just translated it over to Japanese. I'm like, that sounds dope. It's going to fit the theme for what these songs are going through and everything. So it just worked out like that.
Absolutely. And so that was your 2020 release. Was the pandemic, I know a lot of artists when they start releasing things in 2020, like they look back and the pandemic is sort of a part of that journey. Was that the case with this album?
I think it ended up being the case because like we technically finished it in 2019. But there was just little things that kept it being held up because we wanted to like support it properly. And of course our plan was like, all right, cool. It got finished like maybe fall of 2019. We're like, well, we'll tour in like spring of 2020. So of course it hit, and now we're just kind of holding on to it at this point. And I think it got to a point where you talked about it, we just got tired of like, screw, we'll just release it onto the world and then we'll try to
Yeah.
run off of it later. We'll write new songs in the meantime and everything. And it just kind of was.
I see. And so after that, or I guess during all of this, you guys have been doing shows. I see a lot of videos like on your socials from different venues. What's been your favorite like experience on the road or like at a show?
Parade. I'm definitely gonna say the parade.
Say that again.
The parade.
The parade.
Like as far as like
Definitely.
this year's go, it's definitely not a venue, but the parade is pretty much my highlight so far.
That was probably the best thing I did.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, there should be a video somewhere where we're on the back of a truck with the generator, and he's got just like,
that photo.
There's a shitload of people out there. It's insane. It was such an insane night.
Yeah.
Was there a dragon involved?
Yeah.
Yes, there was.
Yes, I saw. I did see that. That was one of my first questions I wrote down. What is this?
Nice.
Yeah, no, one of our, I guess the theme of, because each year there's this art collective in Richmond called All Saints, and this theme for the parade, Halloween parade this year was, I want to say it was basically Eat the Rich, or Down with Billionaires or something crazy like that. So they made this dragon. The dragon had like dollar signs in its eyes and everything.
And it had like this like gold chest. And like gold pieces at the front of the truck.
Yeah.
Like basically like a hoarder essentially.
So we're sitting there playing on this tiny truck bed squeezed in together. And we're just jamming down the
fumes notwithstanding.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was definitely an interesting one, but like we got a lot of good reception out of that. A lot of people liked it, so I was happy.
Yeah, that's super awesome. That sounds so fun. I'm jealous.
I think my favorite was still the geez, come on.
You got it.
I was gonna say, I think my favorite still was the protest one though. Like,
you performed at a protest?
Yeah, we performed at a protest. We had the Robert E. Lee statue. Can we help you?
Well, he wants to be a part of it.
He always wants to be a part of it.
Is that Otis?
Yeah, of course it's Otis.
That's his boy.
Oh, asshole.
Don't nobody care about you, Otis. I'm kidding. I love you.
Gotta be part of everything. No, yeah, 2020, there's a big Robert E. Lee statue that everyone's trying to get taken down and everything. So we're doing this parade, this Black Lives Matter parade and everything. Or not parade, excuse me, a protest. And it was definitely kind of a clusterfuck when we got there.
Kind of a clusterfuck, that's an understatement.
Oh man, yeah, like a bunch of different groups started like trying to fight with each other. And we're like, man, did we just leave? Like, what is happening?
The big thing that happened was when we started playing and that's when
man,
broke loose.
Yeah, because we finally go on like 2 hours after they told us we would or whatever.
Oh.
And I'm looking at the guys, I'm like, yo, we're gonna play like 2 songs and then bounce because it's crazy. We played our first song and I look up again and now there's like well over, it felt like 100 people. It was a lot of people. Out there, and they like all focus on us. We're like, oh wait, this is unity now. Everyone's actually together right now. Okay.
Shows what music can do for people, right?
Yeah, no, for real. But like, we're jamming out, we're going. Everyone is like partying hard. It's awesome. And then the cops show up.
Yeah.
They hit our.
It was right. We were about to end our last song too when they showed
30
up.
30 seconds left.
Made headline news too that the cops.
Oh, we needed it.
Yep. No, I think that was my favorite night though, because that was like definitely a moment of like true unity for a second. Like everyone, like just for a second, kind of forgot their qualms with everyone else next to them, and we're just super chill, super like everyone kind of had the one mindset thing, and I think that would end up being good. But.
And that's hard to cultivate, like. And I think especially in a moment like that where there's like just a lot of tension, upset feelings, disappointment, all that energy, And so for y'all to be able to like flip it and create that moment, that's pretty cool. I think that's awesome.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? What's your favorite show experience?
Honestly, that's. I mean, definitely the protest is up there for me. As far as other shows that we played, if I have to say, and I think this is just a personal bias on me. When we opened up a couple of years ago for this band, Hippie, Greg, do you remember that show? Or
I remember it because I talked to the guy
Uh-oh.
manager, and Ryan was like, "Hey, Brad, did you send that guy an email?" Like, yeah, no, I did, but I didn't get a response back.
Yeah, I'm happy we got to play with them, like for Ryan's sake. But that was
nothing really ever came out of it, unfortunately.
Oh.
that was weird, man.
But it was a good time still.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was fun, especially since we got to open up for band I've been listening to since high school. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah. What's like something that's either on your bucket list or like something y'all want to do, and once you do it, you just know like yes, like either we've made it to where we want to be, or like this is what I've been dreaming of.
The National.
The National. You want to play at the National?
National. So many people hate on the National, but I love the way it looks. I love like
Beautiful.
the shows I've seen there. It's such a beautiful theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't knock it. It is a very nice stage. It is a very nice, like I said, arena. That is very theatrical. So
I've actually turned down shows there only because I'm like, nah, this needs. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be bigger than what, like, I guess they ended up being. Or because you can fit like 2,500 people in there. So I'm like, nah. Well, one day we're actually going to have like an amazing lineup. People are going to pack that place, and it's going to be a super dope party. Like, that's my personal big goal for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's into the ether now. The universe is going to take care of it.
Yeah. I also want to get more cops called on us. Yeah. Now you're not a punk, shut down.
Who's just trying to start you?
Right. Wait, why do you want 12 to be showing up? Y'all have
not in that sense. It's for the street cred of it, So someone told me the other day, like, man, Railgun puts on the most punk rock shows in the city.
It's pretty punk.
Like we're the only band that, like, again, has had the cops come in and shut down one of our shows already. So I'm like, yeah, that's some dope credit right there.
Okay, I'll give you that for sure. That's pretty punk.
Oh my
God. So I'm curious to know, I guess, what's upcoming or what do you have in the works that either you want to share, or just like, I guess, goals that you have for the next year coming up for Railgun.
Me and him have to start another semester of school next January.
Right on.
So we're probably not going to book anything heavy until about maybe March at the earliest.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be save up money, hopefully record a new EP or two. Got some songs in the pocket ready to go. Some are still being written. And then I guess personally, one of my big goals is to get us further away from Virginia. Like, this is the first year we played outside of the state, which was, it felt really good. So I'm thinking like, okay, we can go a little bit further, and even if it's not like a big show or anything amazing, like we get people talking in other states and whatnot. That's what I don't know, baby steps, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the questions too I was going to ask. Like, I don't know much about Virginia, so like, what is the scene like? Do you sort of have to carve a space for yourself? Um, three black guys in a punk band in Virginia. I don't know what that equals, but does it equal strife?
It does. Voice is hard. It equals
Have you heard of Bad Brains?
Yes.
Oh, no, that we get that comment like at every fucking show.
Yes, we've all heard. Yeah, no.
You heard Bad Brains?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all remind me. They're like, ow.
Thanks.
Yeah, y'all
Like
don't
how we don't sound a goddamn thing like Bad Brains.
No, you don't sound like Bad Brains. You just
Like, cool. Name two other bands of color.
yeah.
No, I think we got our more big start by just doing a lot of open mics.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we're coming into like the open mics that allowed full bands to play and everything. Come in and play 2 or 3 songs, and of course we're kind of blowing people out of the water with what we had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Until someone finally says, "Hey, we have a show coming up here. Can you be on the bill?" We're like, "Yeah." And like majority of the shows we get are because of like word of mouth, or like we've played with a band before.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. They're setting up shows. They're saying, "Well, Railgun's solid. Railgun's clutch. We can go to them real quick." But it kind of works out in our favor majority of the times.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally, I'd say that Richmond is a good diverse music scene where you have, because you just have to look in the right places, I think. Because you've got, you do have a big metal community, you do have a big hip hop community. I say it's bands, it's a lot of like jam bands and psychedelic rock.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you kind of like get like, I hate putting them in that category, but also kind of got like the bluegrass and the country band stuff. So it's like, what they consider is like traditional Virginia secular type music.
But you do, it is actually I think it's a very healthy mix of backgrounds and groups. You've got some venues that really do cater to everything, which is awesome. But I think getting into it does become like almost a California state of mind, where it's like you gotta have to know someone to put in a good word for you and stuff like that.
Networking.
Yeah, I think with us though, because we're not good with networking, we kind of just started showing up. And it was definitely a more like, we're loud and obnoxious, so you have to pay attention to us.
Mm-hmm.
You just get the fuck out.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you can either call us out and say you hate us, or you can just accept what's about to happen. And
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like it would generate an organic following, an organic connection with people than say, knowing someone through someone and just expecting that they'd be great. But, wow, that's really cool. Open mics were they challenging at first? I've always just like seen them as like, whoa, you have to have a lot of bravery, a lot of like, to just go up just where people they're not expecting it, right?
yeah, and again, I think that's where it worked in our favor, because we get that very obvious comment of like, "Oh, when I saw y'all go up there, I wasn't expecting this sound and everything." I'm like, in a sense, that is kind of what we're going for. If you're not actively looking, you don't know that there's a lot of black bands that play heavier than a lot of the traditional ones do, and we're not even that heavy.
No, to the standard that we play, to what the quote unquote standard is for different elitism and all that, we're nowhere near close.
Yeah. So I think in a sense, that went to our advantage is the surprise factor for a lot of people. Um, but and I think that's where open mics helped us a lot. I don't think it was really a matter of bravery. It's kind of like if you go to like a karaoke night at a bar or something like that. You know, you take a shot or something like that, get that liquid courage, and just do what you can do the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you're just having fun with it because it is supposed to be a place of no judgment. You're not hating on if someone's not fully put together, if they mess up a lot or whatever, because it is supposed to be a place where you can either show off your skills or you can demo new stuff and get people's opinions. Yeah, so that first starting, that just helped us a lot, I think.
Yeah, that sounds like a good strategy to just get practice like under your belt. Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess let's see here. Sorry, there's another question that I had. Oh, okay. So you're in Virginia for now, but the goal, one day is to be where? Where do you guys see yourselves? Or like, what's the dream location that you think would help you all thrive and like, feel, I guess, more accepted in the space?
Shoot, I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, me neither.
Someone mentioned New York at a convention when we played at BlairCon.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned something about that.
I have no clue how the industry like works. I always assumed we get lucky, find someone who kind of wants to buy into us, we'd sell our souls and we'd go on tour. So like no, for real, I don't know how this kind of works. I just,
and even now things are like, no, it's there's a lot more layers being involved into it that I guess speaking more just for me, that knowing that social networking now is the more big thing versus emailing and then talking to people, sending out your business cards to everybody and let the word spread. Like now social media is becoming the new exposure.
Mm-hmm.
We got no clue what we're doing on that aspect of things. So,
but what do you think? Oh, sorry. What do you think the response has been though on social media so far?
I think it's getting better because we're trying to take a more active approach at even being on social media. Like we're trying to come up with more content to post so people hopefully get people engaging and commenting, liking and sharing and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, because we all have so much other stuff going on in our lives. The two of us are in school. I work full time, and there's so many other things that are happening that it's like, we can't really necessarily put the energy into, I'm going to make this practice video and post it up and have stuff ready to go for the next month or whatever. I think it just comes and goes with when we have time, when we remember to pull our phones out and press record and edit a video or even post it. So far, it's been good. I think everything has still been organic. Like the protest was amazing. The Halloween show was amazing because got a lot of people looking at Railgun at that point.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Oddly enough, we're like old men that don't know how to use the internet.
I was telling a mutual friend of ours, it's like, I pretty much know everything from like YouTube and podcast stuff. TikTok and Instagram is like so new to me. So it's like that level of like that level of like those quick short bite videos. It's like, I won't say it's alien to me, but it's like, I don't know how I can really work, especially if I'm like doing it on my own. And most of the times that I'm consuming it, it's just like weird, funny sketches that you will watch on cable for America's funny videos. So it's like, how can you translate that to, to band projects or music stuff without like having your camera being pointed out to you and the instrument and then just playing like that quality.
People have found ways to do it. And I'm like, good for y'all. I don't get it.
Yeah. Is that something like y'all want to improve upon or like research more, or is it something you're just like, I think this organic like growth is still like doing us good?
I guess a little of both. The organic growth is fine because there's no real expectation of any kind of idea of success. We just, I think the biggest thing that we want is to be able to take the music as far as it can go. Like, it's not as, like, of course, if someone's going to tell me, you can make a living wage off of just playing music all year round, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll quit my job and do that right now. Hell yeah. But But I think like it'd be cool even if it was just the one opportunity. Some random band said, "Hey, you want to come tour in Europe with us?" That's not going to lead to anything else afterwards. Cool. Not a lot of people can say they get to do that. Not a lot of people say they get to play at this big festival. Not a lot of people can say they've released something overseas or whatever. Like I think we're trying to figure out the best way to have these experiences while this is still happening. Because as dark as it sounds like this probably won't last forever. There's a good chance that it won't. But just trying to make the best of it while we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really respect that. I don't think people like think about the amount that really goes into an EP, just an EP. Like that is a lot. But I definitely want to encourage y'all to continue doing what you're doing, because I think it's fucking awesome. But yeah, I hope that the two of you are in school. What are you in school for, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, okay. So I'm back at school to receive my my licensure to basically teach. Yeah.
Awesome.
No, I have no clue. I'm just in for general studies.
Okay.
General ed out of the way, and then I'll figure something out after that, maybe.
Yeah. And I mean, that adds to it, right? Y'all are also like, two of you are also students, you're all working. So, I think fans understand that. And especially when you have that like organic connection with them in the beginning, they're willing to like wait. They're willing to, I say this almost in like every freaking interview, for real, Rashida. But honestly, truly, I think it's really true that waiting on that quality is something people are willing to do. So.
Yeah.
And it's already like, not to say that it's not at a certain quality now. I'm just saying like having a breadth, like a larger catalog.
Yeah. No, and it's just a weird balancing act because we want to wait, we want to put out quality work for sure. But I think we're also kind of at this point too, in a weird, like, not trying to start shit with other bands, but we can also almost proudly say like, no, we're better than y'all. We have the ability to like go places. We have to believe we have to believe that there's something that really does make us special. I think every band has to believe that, but then it gets really put to the test when you start seeing tours, when you start seeing everything. Because, you'll see like a 3 or 4 band lineup, and then that one band will really stick out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even the headliner or whatever, but like, it's weird. I always go in and talk about, I don't care if the headliner is some big national touring band. I want to play better than them tonight. I want them to look embarrassed as shit because like,
we're being
Yes.
Unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have to dip out. I gotta get back over to work. Other supervisors isn't up leaving, so I'm gonna go and actually go now. Yeah, unfortunately.
You're doing God's work, Ryan. So you're doing God's work, Ryan.
Man, shut up.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks.
Love you too.
Thanks, man. All right, I'll definitely see you guys later. I apologize for whatever stupid things that these guys say.
Thank you for that as
What do I
well.
say was not stupid?
Yeah, everything, I don't know.
I'll take it easy.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ryan.
But yeah, no, I think that's just the biggest thing for us. I think we want the opportunity to prove like, holy shit, now we're worth investing in. We're worth like buying a ticket to come see. We're worth putting a song into a commercial or an opening for an anime or something like absolutely crazy like that.
That would be a match made in heaven. Opening for an anime.
Right?
That'd be
Get that calling from the studio.
And I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, it doesn't matter if the anime sucks. We were in the anime. Like,
yes,
Yeah.
it's on Crunchyroll.
That would be dope if Crunchyroll actually would hit us up and ask
Right.
us for a deal.
Oh, like a Megan Thee Stallion deal.
Didn't she say that like she's been watching Black Clover or something like that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I think that's
interesting.
one she's watching. I haven't watched any anime in so long. Like it's been forever. I don't know. I feel like if I have to do some other stuff, like I don't want to have to listen to the dub or is it sub or dub when they're actually speaking in English. Like I don't want to.
The
Yeah,
translation.
I'd rather just like sit and read, read the subtitles. But then I can't do anything. So then I like have to rewind it. Anyway, it's a whole.
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing by itself.
No, I was gonna say like, well, I'd say that this kind of goes in that category, but like anime especially, you have to like visually look at it. You can't just have that on and then expect to work on another project or homework or work or whatever. Like, no, because you're gonna miss out on a lot.
Yeah. Whenever there's music and no one's talking, I know I'm missing something. Awesome. Well, thanks, you guys. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I really appreciate y'all, first of all, for being able to reschedule with me and being patient with that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that was really awesome. And yeah, it was so fun talking to y'all. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Of course, yeah. And I hope your Sunday, the rest of your Sunday goes well. I don't know what you got planned, but hope your week is good too.
Say homework for me.
Homework, get to it.
Yeah,
Finals. I'm sending you all of. I work with students, so like I totally understand what you're going through right now. So
nice.
I'm sending all of my good energy and positivity to both of you.
Nice.
And to Ryan, who's not
here.
Yeah, because he goes through a lot. Sandwich shops is not one of the.
That's why I say he's doing God's work.